Hi, it's Penny here, and today I wanted to talk about the books that I've read that have the highest average rating on Goodreads, because I thought it would be interesting to see whether I think that they deserve that spot. I can already tell you there are at least a couple in here that I have rated 2 stars, so maybe not. There is also quite a few in here that surprised me, so let's start going through them. The one with the highest rating is actually one that did surprise me. It's got an average rating of 4.79, and that is this book, which I've talked about recently on my channel, Maui and Other Maori Legends by Peter Gossage. So I definitely think an element of why the average rating is so high for this is that it doesn't actually have that many ratings. It's only got 28 ratings, and I'm pretty sure most of those people would have been people that, like me, are very nostalgic about having read this in their childhood. Not that I don't think this book is great. I think this book is amazing, and I really love the art in it. Let's just open it up to some random pages and see. We're not coming to the best pages. There's the sun. I don't know. I just really love the art in this book, but I'm not sure that I would say it deserves the #1 spot. I think that if it got a few more ratings, it would probably get pulled down a little bit. But still, a really great children's book. So the next 2 books I'm actually going to put together, we've got The Way of Kings and Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson, which are the first 2 books of the Stormlight Archives. The second book, Words of Radiance, is actually slightly higher rated with 4.76, but The Way of Kings still has 4.65, so they're both very high, and I expected to find this series in my top 10 highest rated because it is a really great series and a lot of people love it. I don't own them, but they're super thick, and that just means there's so much depth to the story. Honestly, if you haven't read this series and you like epic fantasy, then you should really look at doing that. Then number 3 is another one that's a bit of a surprise, and I'm going to again group some books together. So I have the Cotai Bay series by J.C. Hart as well as Suntouch by J.C. Hart. So actually it's only the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th book, not this first book, that are on this list. And then Suntouch does it again. We've got like 4.75, 4.71, 4.67, 4.62, all very high ratings. And again, I think this sort of comes down to the fact that they don't have a lot of ratings. So I did talk about these again in my video, Best Books You've Never Heard Of. And while I do think these books are good, again, I think it's just because not many people have rated them. A lot of the people that have rated them would be J.C. Hart's friends and select reviewers. So they're probably going to rate them a bit higher. Still, I would say if you like YA, maybe more new adult fantasy, these are a definitely good series. This is a series she hasn't continued, so I'm hoping everyone will read it and motivate her to continue the series. This one, actually, I didn't really talk about the synopsis in my last video, so I'll talk about it now. We have this little town in New Zealand that's protected by the gods, and you can only find your way to it in certain circumstances, and we have these different new adult type women around the town who are connected to different gods, building up to facing the representative of one of the not so helpful gods. Each one of the women has different magical powers. So this first one was based around wind magic, there's one about earth magic, water magic, and the last one is like soul magic. Anyway, great books, but strange to find them in the top 10. Then next on the list we have A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, and this is one that I gave 2 stars. But I'm probably not surprised to see it in this list because I know a lot of people do love it, but I just found it so rambly. I do think that if you relate to the characters and you feel like you're part of the friend group, then you'll probably just enjoy hanging out with them and hearing about their backstory. But if you actually want a good plot and for like meaningful stuff to happen, probably not. And I definitely fell on the probably not side. Still, it does have an average rating of 4.65, so obviously a lot of people do like it. Next we have another one that I was surprised to see on the list, even though it is good, and that is this art book, The Art of Lois. So I've got mine in this weird cardboard cover, but Lois does make really beautiful art. Like, look at that, it's so beautiful. Throughout the book she has like written stuff about her process, and you just get to see all her cool art. It is really beautiful. I do love it, but strange to see an art book in here, although I think most people who own this probably got it through the Kickstarter, so they already loved her work, so why would they not rate it highly? Next we have one that I read just recently, and that is The Cat Who Ate His Tail by Jacqueline Simon Gunn. I think this is another one where, because it's self-published, so far it's only really been rated by the author's friends or like select reviewers, so it hasn't really got into that broader audience yet where some people will give it negative reviews. That's not to say it's bad. Like, every book gets some negative reviews because not everyone is gonna like every book. Everyone has different tastes, and that's fine. So I am a bit surprised to see this book on here. I don't think it's quite top 10 list quality, but I did still really enjoy it. It's a book told from a cat's perspective, which is definitely something that I want more of. So it was a lot of fun. Next on the list we have another one that is Sarah J Maas, and that is Kingdom of Ash, which again I gave 2 stars. This is actually the final book of the 7-book series, so you can expect that a lot of people who actually got to reading the 7th book would have been people that were very invested in the fandom, so of course they're going to rate it highly. That's why it tends to be further up there, especially these books get quite thick near the end, so it's especially an investment in time because of that. If I'm honest, it's an investment in time that I probably shouldn't have made because I already thought I wasn't going to like it. It's just that I pushed through to a certain point where I felt like I put in so much effort that I wanted to know how things ended. And honestly, I was disappointed, which I knew I was going to be. I'm just not the audience for the Throne of Glass series. I love the first book, and there are a few other ones that I loved, and I love Manon, and honestly I liked a lot of the elements of the story. If it had just been written completely different and edited down into a much shorter book and a lot of the romance cut out, then I think I would have loved it a lot more, but then other people probably wouldn't have liked it. So then next on the list we have Full Metal Alchemist. This is specifically a bind-up of the first 3 volumes. This is a very popular manga, so I'm not too surprised to see it on the list, although I was surprised that there's no other manga on this list. So strange that that's the first one. I wonder where Death Note is on the list. Let's look. Wow, Death Note's actually quite far down. Okay, so I just went and did some research, and this particular bind-up of the first 3 volumes only has about 5,000 ratings, whereas a lot of the other 1-volume mangas that I had a look at have much more. Like Death Note has 120 something thousand, and the other first volume of Full Metal Alchemist has at least 10,000. So I think this might be one where this particular bind-up edition is only one that people who are willing to commit to reading all of the first 3 volumes would be willing to pick up, which again means they're probably going to rate it a bit higher. So I think this is a case where it having less ratings is causing the average rating to be higher, which is why all of these measures that Goodreads uses to tell you whether a book is good or not are completely flawed. But anyway, let's continue the list. Next on the list we have Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss, and actually Name of the Wind is not much further down on the list. So this has an average rating of 4.54, and this has an average rating of 4.57, so very close. Obviously, if you watch any videos about fantasy or you know anything about fantasy, you'll know about this series. It's very well loved. It was also released quite a while ago now, a good 8 years I think, and we still don't have the 3rd book in the trilogy, so that's quite disappointing. But it does mean this has had quite a long time to become very well known and get a lot of ratings. So what is my argument here? Probably that it deserves the high rating it has. I do really love this series. I just want the 3rd book. And then lastly, the 10th highest rated on my list. I'm actually really glad it made it into the top 10, even though I'm a little bit surprised, and that is Magic Triumphs by Alona Andrews. So this is one where it is the 10th book in the series, so again, people who've made it all the way through to the 10th book in the series probably enjoy the series. So that's probably why it has a higher rating than you might expect. I do, however, really love this series. This is one of my most favorite series ever, and the 10th book I thought was a really good finish to the series, although I remember we got really close to the end and I was like, but we haven't even started the final battle yet, the big epic final battle that we've been working up to for 10 books, and we haven't even started it. How are you possibly going to wrap everything up in that last little bit? And then it did, and it was amazing. I have started rereading this series and I'm really enjoying it. If you like dystopian urban fantasy with a lot of action and unique takes on some of those typical supernatural creatures like vampires and shapeshifters and necromancers, and you like books that incorporate all kinds of different mythology, this is the series that you should read. I talk about it on my channel all the time, so it shouldn't be a surprise that I'm talking about it, but it was a surprise that it was in the top 10. Okay, so those are the highest rated books on my Goodreads read list. I would love for you to go and have a look and see what your highest rated book is and whether it's one that was on my list. Or as always, if you've read any of the books that I've talked about today and you'd like to talk about them, I would also love to talk to you about them down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are doing well, and I will see you next time.